Welcome to this very special edition reading. What we are doing here is we are looking at the energy and the zodiac sign for the Lion's Gate. The way that I am intending that this reading will work as a beneficial tool for you is to have you look at the qualities and characteristics and traits that come with the zodiac sign. So when we look at those traits, part of what we're looking at is what sign, what element is it? And by looking at the element qualities, that in a very fundamental level gives us an idea of what type of energy we're looking at. I don't want these videos to be insanely long, and so I will go ahead and put some of those additional qualities in the description box of the video. You can look at that to help you determine how you might work with this particular reading. The next thing that I am needing to say is that we contain all 12 zodiac signs within us, and they come out in our lives in different ways. They have different areas that they govern, different ways that they affect us, and the degree to which these qualities show up in our lives can be different. But the beauty of how these readings are going to work is that you are going to be in control and looking at, as this portal opens, as this Lion Gate comes up. That's a reminder, I totally meant to do this at the very beginning. If you are new to the Lion's Gate portal, the 8-8 portal, I have created an intro video that will talk about that. I will link it also in the description box of this video. Well, Lion's Gate portal, August 8th, the period that I talked about, it's a great portal that helps us with manifesting. So as you look at your life right now and you look at, from the time of you watching this video, what is it that you're wanting to really manifest in your life? And if you happen to be watching it before a Lion's Gate, either the one that's happening this year or whatever year you happen to be watching this video, the idea behind this set of readings is you get to go into your personal astrology chart and you get to look at where your signs are, what they govern, how they can help you, and you get to make those choices about, okay, what extra areas of guidance am I looking for right now that can really help me maximize this manifestation energy? And then you can take the reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As with all readings, all advice, all opinions, it's kind of the same. It's about being in your power and really aligning yourself with what feels right for you and letting go of the things that don't. This reading is for our Aries energy. So I am asking please for any messages or information that will help Aries with manifestation energy and processes and progress, anything to do with bringing the imagined into the physical realm for this particular Lion's Gate period. What kind of messages does Aries need to help with this? Okay. So definitely not a super long reading in terms of the number of rooms that fell, and not a super short reading. We've got kind of a middle line here in terms of the quantity that we're going to talk about. So this already is kind of setting the stage for an understanding of the middle path, right? Of being in the state of plenty is being in the state of everything I have is enough. What I have in this moment is enough. So there's something about that perspective or viewpoint that is going to be helpful for you guys. The next thing that is coming through, we have kind of different levels of energy in this reading for you, Aries. So there is, on the one side, we have Lagus and Wunjo, which are sitting over here, actually in the direction of west. So this is directionally governing our emotion body, dealing with the element of water. The runes in that direction that came up are Laguz and Wunjo, as I just said. Laguz does deal with the energy of the lake, and Wunjo deals with energy of joy and satisfaction. So there is something about being able to be in these moments of reflection and understanding that everything around us, everyone around us, is a reflection for a lot of our own internal stories. So this is a really good way to start fact checking, almost, is the sense that's coming through about where your beliefs are sitting and are your actions aligned with your beliefs. And this is suggestive that following your bliss or following your joy is always going to be the guidepost that will move you in the proper direction. Now, what these two together move towards is Hagalaz and then Oros. So Hagalaz is our hail energy, and this deals a lot with some sort of conflict between head and heart. This is something about understanding that the way we feel and the way we think are kind of different systems in a sense. And it's not necessarily the division between a more active masculine energy and a receptive feminine energy. More so, it's the energy of understanding that as you move through life, as you move through your experiences and your engagements with the world, there always is going to be components of each element. The mental body and the emotion body, and it's going to be paying attention to both of those and learning how to have those work in harmony that is going to help move you in this path towards progress and satisfaction. Now, what that ultimately leads to is Oros, and Oros is our steadfast energy. This is our energy that deals a lot with our creation, our sacral chakra. So really paying attention to the things that light you up, the things that make you feel happy, the things that bring you joy, the things that rejuvenate you. Making it a point to incorporate more of that is also how you are going to move through any of these manifestation processes as you work towards what it is you want to realize in your physical present world reality. Now, sitting underneath Oros was Yera. Yera is the rune that deals with harvest energy. So a lot of this is feeling like knowing when to take action. A lot of this is understanding that there are different actions you take along the process of harvesting. So before you get to a place where you have something where you can reap the rewards, so to speak, you put in the time, you put in the effort, the energy, and you're building with that Oros energy, that creation. You're actually doing different things along the way that serve different functions and purposes. So Yera coming out at the bottom of that pile with Hagalaz and Oros really is an understanding. It's a feeling that's asking you to be mindful, to be aware, to pay attention, to tap into intuition and your inner knowing about what steps to take, what actions to take, along the steps of your journey. We have additionally a little cluster of 3 that was connected to this, the set that I just explained. And with it, on the top, we have Ingwaz. Ingwaz is our seed energy. So this really is an understanding that your expansion, your growth, is not limited to one direction, right? Plants, their roots grow into the ground, they grow below. We have the stems and the trunks and the vines that help connect us to that source of grounding and protection and nurturing with the root system. Then we have the leaves and the flowers, the branches, the things that bring us up and move us into the realm of the air, that move us into ideas and move us closer to celestial concepts, for lack of a better term, is what just came through. So this really is understanding that the way you take up space is important. The way that you grow, the way that you move is going to be fundamental in your overall work with manifestation. Sitting directly below it is Ansus. Ansus is our rune that governs communication. So with this, we're looking at throat chakra. And throat chakra, a lot of times when this energy is blocked, it really has an impact on our heart chakra. So I was saying earlier we had Hoglaws, which was kind of that disruption energy or that conflict energy about this sense of struggle about which way, how do I incorporate, what ways do I incorporate the way I feel and think versus the way that I decide to be and the way that I know that I want to be, if that makes sense. It gets a little interesting when we start diving into how our mental body is different from our emotion body, but that was the feeling that was coming through, so that's how we'll leave that. And the rune that was sitting interconnected at the very bottom of that line is Rido. So Rido is our journey energy. It is energy of progression. So there really is a sense that with this feeling that I had at the beginning about this middle path, about the middle way, about the being in harmony and understanding that the extremes exist on either side, Rido is really again coming in and saying that, well, here's the example that's coming through. I know sometimes the examples really help you guys, and so we'll share the real life example because sometimes that just makes it easier. So the people who do photography will understand this one because it deals with lighting and time of day, right? So if you've ever been out on a hike or a walk, or you've been out doing something, and say that you're going one direction, even if you know that you're going to come back that same path to ultimately end where you began, the thing is, as you move along this trail or this journey, whatever it is for you, the way that you see the path in front of you changes, in part because the lighting changes throughout the day. So even like you stop at a place along a trail and you think, man, this would make a really great picture, but I've got all these other things I need to do. I need to get to this thing first. I need to do that thing, and then this thing's going to happen, and then that thing. And when I get back here, when I get back to this place, I'll remember and I'll take a picture, and then I'll have it and it'll be on the way out. So this is an example where the logical mind is beautifully set up and tried to organize time and flow. But what happens is everything works out, and whatever, you come back to that place and say that you do remember to take the picture, the lighting has already changed. So whatever emotions were connecting you to the desire to take a picture in that particular moment will have shifted because the lighting is already different. So that's kind of this energy of the seed energy, communication, and the journey energy, Ingwas, Ansus, and Rido coming through. It is a sense of seizing the moment. It's a sense of taking action when it's aligned. It's about tapping in and tuning into intuition. And we had Lagus and Wunjo at the beginning. So Lagus is our intuition, Wunjo is joy. So if you're walking along the path and you have this moment come up and you think, this is beautiful, this is worthy of a picture, take the time to actually take that picture when you are there in that moment, because when you come back to it, other characteristics will be different, qualities will be different, things will have changed. That's the kind of energy that's coming out here. I just saw we have Issa in your reading also, and this one was completely covered. I didn't even realize it was here until I was moving some of the others out of the way. Issa is energy that can speak to moments of stuckness or moments of not being flexible. And so with this energy, what is happening is it's actually, there are moments that you know when to work with the foundation you have. So we had that seed energy in the last set of 3 I talked about. And that seed energy, a lot of that is the seed is going to grow and it's going to do what it needs to do because that's how it's designed. But it does need certain environmental factors in order for these things to come through and actually come into fruition. And we had Issa, or we had Rido, which was that journey energy. So Issa is an understanding that as you move through these stages, you are going to find different places that cause resistance or different things that make you feel comfortable, things that make it so that you don't really want to investigate how to grow or change or improve. And this is actually a very interesting contrast to Wunjo, the rune of joy, because in Wunjo, with joy, we do have a sense of completeness of a cycle. And so the Issa energy really is asking you to bring awareness to these moments. We have Berkana, which was partially covered. So Berkana is our feminine nurturing energy. And Berkana is an energy that is basically talking about for you, it's feeling like the tangible physical resources in the world that are going to help you work towards the different things that you're manifesting. So being aware that you do need to sleep, you do need to eat, you do need to have these, wellness routines in place. It's all part of maintenance. It's all part of nurturing any of these seed energy components that you are working with. The nurturing is going to be important. So remembering that once you've worked on something, you've had the creative process, you've planted it, you're working on growing it, and then there also is the follow through. And it lines up actually with Yera, which was our rune of harvest, right? So this is about, again, making sure that the things you're doing are self-serving, the things that you are doing, playing smart, not hard, like figuring out how to set up resources and things for yourself that you're going to be able to collect and be supported along your journey. That's kind of the feeling there. Your final rune is Thurisaz. Thurisaz is lightning energy, and this is energy that does talk about it talks about a couple things, and as I started to explain what it typically means, it felt kind of off. So just a second, I'm going to tap in and see what it's meaning for you guys. So in this sense, we have the lightning energy, and lightning clears away. What's coming through actually is just the stories about people who are struck by lightning, and you typically don't survive something like that. So people who survive, and then you hear stories about people who have been struck by lightning more than once, or even people who are electrocuted. So there's kind of a sense of engaging with things that are beyond the capacity of the physical body for you. Now, I always try to honor what's coming through by saying the words as they come out. I do want to put a disclaimer here, though, that this is not in any way me suggesting that extreme sports or something should be what you should do or should take up. But there is a sense with this for you guys almost of transcendent energy. There is a sense almost that you have been in situations in your life that would have been equivalent to being struck by lightning or electrocuted, that physically, statistically, you should not have survived. And this is very, very oddly specific, so it will not resonate with everyone. But there is something about that staying power. There is something about being able to overcome adversity, I guess would be the more general way to say it, without the extremes of the lightning or things being struck by lightning. So that is what is coming through for things that are going to help Aries energy with manifestation during this Lionsgate portal. I have a card I am going to pull real quick, which will end the reading. This card is just going to help us look at some overall energies. Okay. So the card itself is experience, spirit past of the west, and west again was where the first two runes, the direction they were opening up in, so emotion, body. This deals with letting go, it deals with movement forward, and it deals with reflection. And it has the number 38. So for those of you who work with numbers, 38 is going to be something that as you look in your external reality, as you start seeing 38 popping up around you, that's going to be part of your synchronicities, things that are helping you know which direction, which step to go. So let me, I'll show you the layout of your runes and your card. That is it for the reading. I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank our guides and I want to thank the runes. Here is your layout, and I have one tiny little message afterwards, but I do look forward to seeing you at future readings. Thank you so much for attending this reading, spending time with me, and most importantly, spending time with yourself to know yourself better and to be more in your power as you live your life. If you are interested in learning the runes, I am actually creating a class that will be launching shortly after the Lionsgate, so middle of August, I'm thinking. I have an email list set up. If you are interested in that, sign up for the email list. Link will be in the description box, and that will give you all the information you need in order to be able to participate.